Hey Raindrops, now before we get into this video, I want to talk to you about joining my community. Yes, my YouTube community of subscribers. So make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It helps build the channel and build our community. I love it when you guys comment and post. So remember, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel.
Hey, Carlos.
You can always say what you
Listen and cut the shit out if you think I said the wrong shit, because I'm gonna say the wrong shit about all of this. This really got on my nerves because I think that this whole episode hits home for so many damn people. And I know a lot of people ain't gonna agree with me on nothing I'm about to say. Anything I'm about to say.
Well, first of all, hi, Dr. Heavily.
Hey, baby, how you doing? How you doing? I just watched that and I'm upset. My boy, R.I.P. Kiki. Moment of silence for Kiki.
Yes, and I want to say this really. I want to say this. You know, rest in peace, Kiki Jabbar. A lot of people have been asking how I've been doing. You reach out to me. A lot of people reach out to me. Quad. A lot of my friends. I want to say thank you for that. Listen, grief is something that everyone handles differently, and what a tremendous loss. So prayers to the Jabbar family, prayers to the extended family. It was shocking. It was something that just was super unexpected. And, you know, it took a long time to process. So thank you for all who reached out to me. And listen, for people who like to push others to instantly make a comment or a video, you guys need to respect people's boundaries when it comes to dealing with grief. Everyone handles grief differently. I did speak out on it on my social media heavily on 4th of July because I needed days to process it. And I'll keep it at that. You know, the family asks to respect the privacy, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And I implore other people to do the same. Respect the privacy of the family in which they want to, and leave people alone in the comments. And of all times, to hold off on your hate tweets and your hateful comments, you can start doing that tomorrow. But to sit up there and use this opportunity to continue to spew hate is very disgusting. And it just goes to show you that we live in a world where people do not take a day off from being mean to others. And that's a sad part. And that's why I'm grateful that I don't read comments. I'm grateful that I'm off Twitter. I only post on Twitter, you know, to promote our stuff heavily and then the shows. But it was something that was sad. But thank you for acknowledging her.
Yeah, man, that's real sad, and like we praying for everybody involved. Yeah, we praying. So I guess, you know, we can move on and try to.
Yeah, let's move. Let's talk about love and marriage.
I try not to wallow and stuff, and that may be one of my downfalls. I don't stay down long. I just try to move on and try to make, you know. And a lot of people might not agree with it, but I try to move on, because if you get stuck in something, Carlos, you could stay stuck forever.
Oh yeah, and listen, there's no right or wrong way to handle grief, and I guess I gave too many people the benefit of the doubt. And let's be clear, it is an overwhelmingly positive response. But I really thought to myself, because again, I don't read the comments, and my social media manager was like, yeah, people really want you to comment and make a statement. I did make a statement. Did you guys want me to instantly make it about me and to talk about it when the family asked for respect? I really thought the mean people would take a day off from their hate and just chill out for a while. But nonetheless, let's get into love and marriage, Huntsville, because I mean, Heavily, you are clearly where do you want to start?
I mean, we can start at the first part of it. I mean, the first scene was with Marceau.
I'm going to say this.
It's too many Mars.
Mm-hmm. I want to get your thoughts.
Okay. So Marceau and Marques actually spoke, right? And one thing you could say about Marceau, he always got a damn opinion, but he's a level-minded person. Like, yes. He was telling me, my whole thing, and it brought up my blood that this man don't get it, that he left his family. He left his family, he left his woman, he left his wife, and he left the damn kids. And now he think that he deserves some kind of respect because he injected himself in a woman and became a father. That do not give you no right to shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not there for your kids, and I said it all the time, the men a lot of times stay. They don't stay for the kids. They stay because they love the woman. And I would say over and over again, Ken is doing this for the kids because of the woman. But in return, he grows to love the kids. You left your kids. You don't have nothing to say. You can't really say anything. Okay, so basically the scene was, it seemed like Marques, who is Tricia's husband, not ex-husband, husband. They've been separated for a amount of time. We ain't seen him yet on the show. I've never seen him before. And evidently, some kind of way, Marceau already knew him from, he used to give him a job or something like that. And he said he had an incident with Ken in a club, and they got into a verbal altercation, some kind of altercation. So Marceau is talking to him, telling him, what do you think you want to happen? And he's saying he doesn't like the fact that Ken around his kids. But you wasn't there. What was the woman to do? What was the woman to do? I get tired of these young fellas and these guys not being men, not being fathers to their kids, and feel like they can come back and get some kind of respect. That'd be different. And I ain't no judgmental person, or try not to be. If he went to jail and he couldn't help it, and he went out and he couldn't help it, that's one thing. But dude, you could have been there. You got another man taking over your responsibilities in the household, taking care of these damn kids, doing it. What the woman's supposed to do? And now you mad because he did it? Like Marceau said, you should be saying, thank you, brother, for picking up, for you being a more man than I could have ever been in this situation. I was not there for my kids. I feel horrible about it. And for you even talking to me right now, it's more than I deserve.
No, listen, I am with you when it comes to, number one, Marceau. You can say what you want about him. And like you said, he's very opinionated. I applaud Marceau for being super honest to Marques and for saying the things that we all would say if we were ever in front of Marques. And Marceau is right. At the end of the day, listen, Marques decided to leave the situation, meaning when you leave your wife and you guys have kids, you're not only leaving her, you're also leaving the kids. And that's the difference in this situation. So Marques moved to Atlanta. You know that Huntsville and Atlanta is maybe a 3-hour drive. Mm-hmm. And if you're flying, it's a 45-minute flight, right? It's not a long commute.
Right.
Or trip in this case, right, to visit the kids. And when he said that his daughter feels like, well, you left us, and he was like, well, I feel like that's what Ken is saying to my daughter. Marceau's like, you have an intelligent daughter who obviously is looking at things at face value, saying, no one has to tell me what is the fact. The fact is you did leave. And I think a lot of men, listen, Marques is not a bad human being, and I want to make that very clear. What he decided to do was to leave the situation. And when a man who is fathering children, when you leave your kids in a different state, you have to understand that your kids, A, are going to feel some kind of way, and that B, your wife, who you're separated from, has every right to move on. And lastly, for me, you should be thanking Ken because unfortunately, there's a lot of stepfathers who aren't good fathers. The fact that Ken bought the kid a car and is going to the dances and the school activities for the daughter, I mean, we need more Kens in this world.
I like Ken. I always said I like Ken. The interesting thing about Trish is now she got the closure she needs. Like, for example, for these 5 years, I don't know if she ever had any interaction with Marques or whatever, but he always said he was in love with her. I mean, loved her, but wasn't in love with her. He wasn't the man for her. But the interesting thing is Trish said it. If you listen to her, she wanted him to be the man that Ken is. She wanted him to be, she loved him. She wanted him. And I always said that there was some distinction between her and her ex-husband. But she got the closure she need, especially when that brother took her ass to pay for half of the divorce. You been gone. Dude, she was a better woman than I could ever be. You gonna ask me to pay for the divorce and you been gone 5 years, you ain't did shit for your kids. This man that did everything, the least you could do. And it was 400, I mean about 400. And he had the nerve to say on TV, you gonna hit half. That means you a sorry brother Tucker. You wasn't there for your kids. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, you know what I mean? Come at me, you know, with me, whatever. I don't care. My whole thing is, you might care, I don't care. Listen, I ain't got shit to do with it. But now you see what Trish is going through. And my whole thing is, I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna take it back. Trish didn't like Ken as much as she loved Marques. Everybody always in love with the sorry brother Tucker. They always in love with the man who ain't the right one for them, the one that treat them like shit. That's the one they wanted. But as a woman and as a mother, she got the closure she needed right then when she saw how he was talking. How you gonna be mad at a man for taking care of your kids when you wasn't doing it? How you gonna be mad at a man and feel like you got authority in here to come back and then wonder why your kids is calling another man daddy and you feeling some kind of way? You looking all choked up and choked, but you been gone. What did you expect? What did you expect this woman to do? She went on to a man she probably didn't even care about. He was her friend. He helped her in so many ways. And love, what love got to do with it? What love got to do with it when this man is emotionally and physically making her better? He taking care of her damn kids. She got to do what she got to do. And Ken loves her. Listen, I've always said, man, you better go with the man that love you more, not this sorry brother Tucker that you love. Go with the man you love more. So that's what Tricia doing, and she's smart. And I hope she don't make a mistake of ever even thinking about going back to this man, because that is not the man for you, girl. I'm trying not to say nothing too bad about him, but he just come in like, girl, that man ain't no good for you and ain't never been no good. And he said he loves you, but he's not in love. And he done went away for 5 years and want his daughter to come back and call him daddy. You ain't daddy. You ain't daddy. You just a sperm donor at this point. That's all you are. I'm sorry. Maybe I said too much.
It's fine.
But the man, Ken, I don't care what you say about Ken. Ken is a better dude than Marques will ever be. And the problem is Trish still in her feelings about Marques just a little bit, but she got the closure she needed, especially when that brother Tucker said, go half on the divorce.
So let me ask you this.
The nerve of him. The nerve.
Well, let me ask you this, Dr. Heavily. To me, let's have a real conversation, right? They got married when they were 18 years old. So, and I want us to put ourselves in the mindset of an at least for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes.
I listen to you.
Okay. Put ourselves in the mindset of being 18 years old. So let's go back to when you and I were 18.
Okay.
Right? And we got married at 18 years old. And when Tricia said he wasn't there for me emotionally when my mother, father, and sister passed away, which is, I mean, that is beyond, I can imagine. That's just beyond devastating. And my heart goes out to Tricia. It seemed to me this. Marques never had the emotional ability to grow up, because at the ripe age of 18, that's when you're starting to figure out who you are as a person. In this case, a man. You're literally going from boy to man when you're turning 18 years old. So to attach another human being that is going from girl to woman, you two aren't, in my opinion, at 18 years old, you two don't even know who you are to be marrying each other. And I think what happened with Marques, because I really want to be able to let the world hopefully just kind of see who they were at that age. I think Marques never had the emotional ability to maturely accept his responsibilities. And unfortunately, and I'm not saying this is right, unfortunately, he decided to leave his responsibilities instead of having the emotional bandwidth to deal with it in real time.
It seems to me that you're trying to make excuses for this man. Because
I'm not making no excuses.
I'm just saying, if he was 18, how old was she? Because at some point when
they were both 18,
you don't have a choice. That's exactly right. She had to man up. You had to grow up right then and there. You don't get the option to leave.
I'm not saying he has the option to leave. No.
No, and we could give a damn about marriage because we didn't even care, that maybe it was the right thing to do to get married or not. We're not even talking about the marriage. We're talking about taking care of your damn kids. Were you giving a monthly salary? Were you coming in to see about these children? Because if you weren't, and another man was doing it, I don't care how old you were. If you were old enough to have a baby, you need to grow up real quick and take care of these kids because you a man now. Man up. That's all I'm saying. And no, I don't feel sorry for him. I don't give him no damn grace because these kids need to be raised. And if he was 18, damn it, she was too. But she did what was necessary, including finding somebody like Ken who was going to take care of these kids, whether she liked him or not. He loved her and he was helping her and she did what she needed to do. And she had not, I think if Ken would have put his foot down earlier, it would have happened, but had not even pushed her to get divorced, gave her the time and what she needed to have closure. And now that we done seen Marques, baby, that divorce finna happen next week. Watch and see what I'm saying. He gave her the closure she needed, that he has not changed by him coming in looking serious, by I need a conversation about how this man go. This man did what you wouldn't do, what you couldn't do. And now we ain't nobody mad, and you can't be mad at nobody. And Marceau is right. All you need to say to this man is, "Thank you, man. You are the better man. You are more of a man than I could ever be to my children. Thank you." And ain't had no beef. Don't come in here with no kind of beef. Your feelings. We don't care about your fucking feelings because the kids matter more. It's about the children. It ain't about no marriage. It ain't about no feeling. Your feelings. You left these kids and this man took care of them. Thank you, man. And if you would allow me to now, if you will allow me to, can I be a part of my kids' life and we kind of can co-parent some kind of way? Because I feel really bad for what I did. And can I come back in and you allow them people to talk? Let me have a relationship with my children. Because you can't demand shit. You can't.
So wait, okay, so this is a really, by the way, I'm loving this conversation. Okay, so you said something that's very interesting. I agree with you in the sense of, number one, Ken is man of the year in my eyes.
You better marry him, Trish. You better marry him. You better marry him.
I mean, Ken is the most upstanding man that I've seen on TV in a minute. Like he really is somebody, because I don't know too many men who would take the responsibility of someone else's children and raise them as their own for the 5 years that he's been in a relationship.
And not even married to the woman.
Not even married to the woman. Legally, these aren't your stepchildren. Legally, they're not. Legally, this is your girlfriend's kids. So the fact that he bought this kid a car and he took on the responsibility of making these kids his own, I agree in the sense of, with you and Marceau, that I want Marques to really look at Ken and say, thank you for stepping in when I could not. And I think what I would like to see from Marques is owning the fact that you should be grateful that this man is not spanking your kids, is not doing anything derogatory to your children, that he is being outstanding. And I think Marques, in my opinion, should say, look, I was going through what I was going through, not saying I was right or whatever. I was going through what I was going through. I appreciate the fact that you stepped in when I could not. And now that I would like to have a relationship with them, can we be able to figure this out? But I want to ask you this. Because those are Marques' blood children, and because Ken legally is not their stepdad, do you think that Marques should still go to Ken first and ask for permission to co-parent his own kids?
Right is right. I think that Marques should go to Ken and say, I was wrong. There's no excuse for the shit I did. There's no excuse for me leaving my wife and children. I can see if the marriage is over, but they're still my kids, man. And you were more of a man than I ever could be. Yes, I feel legally, it might be different. Them his kids legally, but emotionally, intelligently, and spiritually, everything else, you owe that man an apology, and you need to humbly ask yourself if you could have a relationship with your kids because he's the father now. Yes, you need to say, I was wrong, and could you please forgive me for what I did? I was awful, and I still want a relationship with my kids, but I need to ask you, man, because you did what I couldn't do. That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay.
I don't think, my opinion, I don't think Marques being their biological father should go to Ken first. What I think Marques should do, he should do everything you're saying, Dr. Heavenly, but he should say that to his kids first. I don't think he should ask Ken permission. I think he should go directly to the kids and ask his kids for forgiveness and ask his kids, how can I be able to form a better relationship with you guys because I know I dropped the ball. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. The only reason I disagree with you is because I think that Ken is such an influence on them kids right now. So he's gonna have to talk to them kids and say, "Hey, man, y'all know y'all don't like y'all daddy. I know he wasn't there for y'all, but y'all got to give him some grace." And it needs to come from Ken, because for me, and this is why I think I don't know the kids anything. They probably respect Ken more than they do their daddy. So before he goes to the kids, talk to the daddy, maybe kind of get the daddy on the same page, then have the daddy talk to the kids. I'm talking about Ken. Have Ken talk to the kids and kind of get their mind right about, you know what I mean, and kind of introduce him back to the family, because they're not gonna like it if they're not gonna hear nothing he's saying. They don't have respect for him. But if he go to Ken first and get a buy-in with Ken, and then Ken can talk to the kids. This is my idea. Now I don't know nothing about it, but I'm just saying go to Ken first, because Ken was the man. Ken was the man, and it's something that needs to be respected about being a man. That's my thought.
Okay. And what do you think, Tricia? Okay, let me ask you this, because you said something earlier that I want to talk about. You've always said to all the women, you need to be with a man who loves you more than you love him.
Not the ninja you love, not the ninja, the sorry man that you care about. No, go with the man that loves you more, that's doing more for you. Yes, you will grow to love him.
Do you think Tricia is now able to sign the papers and divorce Marques now that the world has seen him? Or do you think it was the conversation that she's had with him face to face, and then a light bulb went off and said, oh my gosh, why have I been holding on to this marriage for so long? Like, where do you think that came from?
I think she hasn't seen, well, I don't know about the public. I'm just leaving the public out of that, because they're going to see it. But I think it was a light that came on to her. Like, why have I been holding on to this sorry son of a bitch that has not taken care of his kids? And furthermore, for him to even come back and ask her to go half on a divorce,
that bothered you.
Put a stamp on that shit, just knocked his ass in the coffin with that. In fact, that statement right there setting us back 10 years. Because right now, I don't even feel like you should see my damn kids if you don't want to pay for $200. Come on, Marques. That's making yourself, but you could just see in him. Like these. Let's pray for the children. Let's pray for them, because this generation is lost. They lost. I'm sorry I said it. And let's lay into Nell, because if we get to Nell.
Go ahead, listen. I'm looking forward to hearing everything you have to say.
Now, the situation with Nell. Nell is me. I don't want to hear shit you got to say. I don't need to hear what you got. You talking about give you time to talk. I already know what the fuck you gonna say. I don't have the patience or the time or the wherewithal to hear what you got to say. The only reason I ain't gonna say nothing bad about her kids, because they her kids. And she know her kids. She already know where this conversation going, because this brother Tucker don't come talk to me until he needs fucking something. He don't talk to me. Let me get it out. No, I already know where this going. I already know. And the man, her husband, what's Mel's husband name? Chris got enough sense to know that Mel always be right. So I'm going to leave it on Mel, because I don't even want to deal with this bullshit when it go wrong. So I'm going to let her handle everything so I can live my life. I don't know who all kids they is. She say some of them her, some of them in the mixture or whatever. But what I'm saying is that boy that was talking, the boy with the grades, and he was talking about, you don't let me finish you don't deserve to finish. You don't deserve to finish. I don't want to hear shit you got to say, because I already know. I'm Mel. You don't come to me and talk to me about the same shit, and you don't get to say. If you coming to me and you ask me for that, and this is it with these kids, and I'm 53 years old. It's with these kids, they say, it ain't all about the money. It ain't all about the money. And you know, the older people, and I'm going to throw Monique's name in there, and all these other people say the things that I've done to you, because a lot of older people equate money as love. We working hard to get you what you need, and a lot of times the young kids feel, I just need you. But in our minds, we didn't have shit, so we trying to get you shit that you couldn't have to make you happy, because we knew we wasn't happy when we had nothing. So my whole thing is Mel done worked hard, got what she want to, and this boy talking about he want to be listened to. He will need to get his shit out. No, you don't. No, you don't. I don't want to hear shit you got to say because your ass don't come to me until I got your own business. But she probably started that business, put the down payment on it and everything. And I'm so glad that Chris allows Nell to make the point because Mel right. Nell is right about everything. I don't give a damn. And they right. The preacher, or whoever the guy is, that's the counselor, he right.
Dr.
She's
Fresh,
soft on the
not the
inside.
preacher.
She's soft on the inside because she just like me. She gonna talk shit. She gonna talk shit. She gonna talk it. But at the end of the day, she gonna give them what they want. So my whole thing is I don't need to hear what you got to say. You gonna listen to me. And every time you come to me, I want you to hear all of this mess that you can't deal with. So maybe you can't deal with it enough to come to me next time for some freaking money. That's all I'm thinking. So now I'm with you, girl. I don't care what nobody say. Yes, we soft on the inside and we love our kids to our core and we'll do anything for them, but they gonna listen to this. Every time you come to me, you gonna listen to my mouth. So when you get tired of hearing my mouth, maybe you'll be tired of asking me all the damn time. That's all I got to say about it. I'm on Nell's side. I'm Nell.
I want to ask you this.
I be mad for real about this shit. Look, man, for real, y'all got me sweating.
I know. I'm like, hold on, boo. Hold on. Okay, so I want to ask you this.
Okay.
You and Nell are both self-made, wealthy women.
Yes.
Right? With grown kids. Okay. Let's have a real conversation. You being a well-off mom, raising kids. Same thing with Nell and her kids. We see that Nell's kids ask for everything: money, access, opportunities. And oftentimes, they don't do anything with what they're given. Is that your experience when it comes to your children? Because when you are the wealthy parent of your stature, how are you able to discipline your kids when you have the money to give to them that they want?
The interesting thing about you is, yes, that's me all day. They already got it. They already got it. We already taking care of them, helping them get housed. I'm sure Nell doing the same thing. We're trying to set our kids up because with this economy, with the world today, there's no way they could be set up properly without our help. There's no way they can do it, okay? Because the income level, unless they go to school and stuff like that. And my thing is, we had to pay for school, so they're ahead of the game. Because if they not ahead of the game, well, my son, if he didn't go to private school and he didn't go to undergrad at UGA and at Mary Harry right now, he would come out of school owing in excess of $1 million, in excess to start out with, right? So if we put our kids to come out with little or no student loans, right? No debt, right? We got a practice for them to walk into. We got money for them to have, and we putting a down payment by buying properties now, starting their IRAs, all the insurance now. That they ahead of the game. Stop asking me for shit. And if you do, I'm gonna give it to you because it ain't nothing but about the taking money. However, you gonna hear my mouth. And I don't want to hear about you want to finish what you got to say. Because I already know what you gonna say. You think I've been living this long not knowing what you finna say and what you feel? I already know. My whole thing is if you think enough of yourself to come at me, grown man, to ask me for something, you gonna hear what the hell I got to say. And no, I don't have to listen to you because I ain't asking you for shit. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think this.
These men get on my nerves. This generation of men is just not men anymore. I need a man like Ken, like Dr. Damon, like Dr. Eugene, like these other men out here. I need a man to take care of the bills and know it's their priority to take care of the bills and be a father to these kids. Not just take care of the bills, talk to these damn kids. Do what you need to do with these kids. Listen to these kids. These your fucking kids. And as the women, we taking on so much that we sit in the pharmacies out there for some Prozac and all of that because the men ain't damn stepping up to what they want to. And if y'all want to get into it, we could talk about it. But the women don't need to lower their standards. Damn it, y'all men got to step up. Because I'm tired of seeing it. And you know what I mean? I got a daughter. Do you think I want a daughter to marry somebody like Marques who gonna leave her fucking family? Come on now, men, step up, step up. Somebody, man, please step up and show these men how to be men. Because they don't know how to do it.
How are you showing your boys how to be men when they obviously, listen, your kids are very privileged, right? Yeah. They're growing up / grew up in a 2-parent household. Dr. Damon is an active father who was in the household every single day, right? Which is a privilege, to have. You and Dr. Damon combined income is a shitload of money. How are you able, with all of this privilege that these boys have, what tools are you instilling in your boys to where they are growing up to be these men that you want the world to see?
Now, that's a very interesting conversation because that's the only distinction me and my husband have in our family. They always asking for what the problem is. The problem is that we have two different ideas on what we should do for our children. Thank God for Dr. Damon, because I would give my kids a foundation, but after that, they would get nothing else. I would do what I'm going to do for them as far as like starting them out, but nothing else. Damon has more empathy and compassion and want to hear what the hell they got to say. Just probably like Chris, just being a man. I don't know if it come with the testosterone or we just over it. But Damon is a different parent for me. I feel like you need both of them. But for me, I'm more so like trying to tell the kids through Dr. Family University. Now, I ain't trying to, I don't know if all of them listening, but I know Zachary is. And I love all my kids the same. I'm just telling the truth. Zachary started his own business. Zachary, both of my boys have graduated from undergrad, but Zachary's the one that's taking the time to go shadow our office. Now, Buddy is coming along, and he's the older one. But Zachary is the one that shadowed me and going into dentistry and already got his own business set up and already doing some things that he's learned at Dr. Family University through his online product and all of that. We can only give our kids, we can teach them how to fish, and hopefully they take it. But we making mistakes too. We don't know how this going. This is new for everybody. We can't help but love our kids and give them everything we want them to have. But is it ruining them? We don't know yet. But I'm telling you, my kids got a better chance of surviving or being better off by having two parents that are totally opposite. Because my ass gonna talk. I'm Nell. I'm gonna talk the shit. But Damon is the type that's going to give them the emotional feedback that they want and need. And I feel like I do that too. And I'm a soft shell on the inside, and they know their mama love them, and I give them the nurturing they need. But I think that they need both sides of the parents to survive. And we'll see how they turn out. And honestly, for me, I feel like it don't much matter what the parents do. Certain kids gonna excel anyway, because that's what I was. You know what I'm saying? My parents didn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't even really know
I
my
agree with
mama
you.
them being there.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Listen, I think this. A lot of it has to do with what is embedded in you, right? I am a product of a two-parent household. Everyone knows my story. I have 9 siblings. It's 10 total. I'm the middle child of 10 kids. All 10 of us are very different. I always knew that this life that I'm blessed to live now, I knew at 12 years old, I was going to have this life. And I'm still working to see the other dreams come into fruition. I will say this, my life is what it is to me, because I had a father who was in the house every day, and I saw this Black man work 60 plus hours a week at Ford Motor Company to provide for all of us, and juxtaposed against my mother being a housewife. And like you said, my mother is more like Chris and Damon. My mother was the emotional person. Let me hear the kids out. My father's like you and Nell, yelling, and loves us down, but it was definitely different. What I'm seeing now is this, because when I'm looking at Nell and Chris, I always wondered this, because I don't have kids. How are you able to raise your kids when you have a lot of money and they expect to get it, and are you setting your kids up for failure? Because gone are the days of struggling and hustling and getting it out the mud. And is that a disservice to these kids, because they grew up saying, I don't know what it's like to struggle. I don't know what it's like to get out the mud. Whatever I needed and wanted, my parents provided for me. Is that hijacking these kids from growing up being self-made like we are?
Well, my thought process is I don't want my kids to struggle. I made it so they don't have to struggle, but I want them to take it to the next level. That's why you say generational wealth, meaning that I'm teaching them they should never have to struggle based on the foundations we made for them, right? But they also have to understand money, how to invest it, how to take risks, how not to take risks, how to have this money over here, a certain amount you never touch, you just let that grow, a certain amount you can play with, certain amount for your bills. Don't ever live over your means. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. So I'm teaching them how to grow with what we've already set as a platform. I don't know. I don't want my kids to struggle. If anything we've done, they should never have to struggle. So they don't know that life, but they need to know they need to work hard to sustain and grow the wealth over time, because the Fords and the DuPonts and all those didn't make it in one generation. You got to keep growing and adding to it. So they know they shouldn't physically have to struggle like we did with no food sometimes. No, they're not on that level of struggle, but it's a
Right.
different level now. And now it ain't a physical struggle, it's a mental struggle. Like you got to know what to do, how to act, what to do. Because basically what we're trying to set up is that you get a certain amount of money at a certain age that you ain't never got to go hungry. You understand what I'm
Are you
saying?
like, no, I totally get it. I totally get it. And listen, that's why I'm so curious about this topic, because I'm not a parent. So
Mhm.
I'm always curious when it comes to wealthy parents who have kids. Do you ever because I feel like with Nell is this. Everything Nell is doing to me is she's trying to set her kids up for success.
Mhm.
And I think the kids can't accept Nell's delivery. Her
Mhm.
message is right, but her delivery is a turnoff for the kids. But her messaging is right. And when I watch that scene and I watch how you are with your children, I always say to myself, you guys are blessed to live at home with the example of I could be this, I could be that, I have this, I could have that, because you're living every day. It's a blessing to live in a house with somebody who is wealthy and successful. And I do feel like sometimes, not all of them, some kids, I feel like sometimes some kids take for granted that in your own household, you have the best role model in the world. And although their delivery may not be the best, don't ever disrespect the messaging in it. And I feel like the kids just aren't respecting what Nell has to say. Nell is a self-made. She owns this daycare that is making millions. Chris and Nell are wealthy. You and Damon are wealthy. And I want kids to stop looking at these entertainers or these people on YouTube or reading the Forbes. Like, look within your own house to see that you have the perfect role model. And although their delivery may not be the greatest, baby, their experience is.
I think that my kids, one of the good things about them going to public undergraduate schools is that they see how blessed they are. Like for grade school, for private school, to me, most of those kids were wealthy, right? Most of them were
Mhm.
doing well. But now that they're in undergrad, they see some of the kids struggle and they see, damn, I do have it good. So I think it's important to see that. I can't say how my kids gonna turn out. I'm gonna do the best I can for them, right, wrong, or indifferent. But the delivery, you ain't got to hear my mouth. You really don't. You ain't got to take this delivery at all. You ain't got to, right? You got a choice. You ain't got to hear shit I got to say. But if you want something, you might go ahead. And my whole thing is, yeah, I could do better. I could do better with my delivery. I could. But y'all frustrate the hell out of me because y'all already got everything. Don't ask me for shit else. That's how I feel. So, Mel, I'm feeling the Mel. And we can be humble and try to come up with the. At 53, I'm not finna change too much. So, love me or leave me. And I don't think you're going to leave me. So, just love me for who I am, accept me for who I am. I have great friends. I don't have many friends. I have great friends. Damon accepts me for who I am. And I can't be nobody else. I'm thanking you, Jesus. And I'm loyal to a fault, probably to a fault. Because
Mhm.
you going to see, I'm loyal. But I don't have too many people because you're going to have to accept me for who I am. And yes, my delivery is messed up. It is. And I could try to work on it. And I could try to stop cussing at you. And I could try. But when you frustrate me, it just comes out. So thank you, Jesus. God knows my heart. God knows my soul. God knows how much I love them. But you ain't got to hear this. You really ain't got to hear it. you got a choice to see that delivery, because you ain't got to come to me because I already set you up. What else you got for me?
No, I think, listen, I think we said it all. I think we said it all. Listen, this episode meant a lot to me too, because I love providing conversations for the Black households to really look at other people's examples. My sister texted me yesterday saying, watching the Nell family scene, relating it to what she's going through in her own family. And that's the reason that I love doing what I'm doing, is because I always try in every show that I produce, put a mirror up to the Black households to say, like, we may not be going through this, or maybe we are going through this, or we know somebody who is going through it. And when you came on the Zoom, honey, well, the StreamYard, and was very passionate about what we're seeing, I love the fact that we get to have this healthy dialogue. And my hope is that people watching it can take away something that they can apply in their own lives. So no, I think we said it all.
Well, I would close with saying that everybody has a different point of view. I think you should give everybody grace with their point of view, because I don't think the kids can see Nell's side. I can see it because I'm there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So everybody needs grace, including Nell, because Nell is probably going through more than all of them kids together, because the kids, like you say, they ain't never struggled. They ain't never gonna struggle. Nell struggled. Heavenly struggled. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Damon struggled. We struggled. I don't know about you, but we struggled. It was times we didn't have money to do anything. It was like, shit, we ain't got nothing to eat today. So what we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And Damon would get a job and work, you know what I'm saying, and do whatever he needed to do. But it was times where I ain't have my light bill. I was at my man paid my light bill. That's why I say y'all can't tell me nothing about my man. Because my man was there when nobody else was there, taking care of me from the very beginning. And that's what you want. And when you have a man that loves you more than Christ loved the church, that love you more than you ever did them, you grow to love them amongst anything in the world, and you take on the world for them. And you know what I'm saying? And you might go to hell for the D. Okay? So that's it. That's all I got for you. Make sure y'all follow my channel. I know Dr_Heavenly. Patreon, I've been kind of busy, y'all, but I'm getting back to it, y'all. Dr. Heavenly University, Patreon, all of that and more. Make sure you follow me on all my platforms. Make sure you like, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell. Carlos, I appreciate you for all the opportunity and the learning and everything you do for me. And I appreciate you allowing me to do this review for you, because I love doing it. And I appreciate you. God gonna bless you in a special way.
Thank you. I love you immensely. Thank you for giving me the space last week to take off a Monday to process what was going on with the situation. And listen, we are friends in real life. I'm so thankful for our friendship, and it goes beyond what you can comprehend. So I love you, Dr. Heavenly. And guys, all new episodes, Love and Marriage Huntsville, every Saturday, 8 o'clock, 7 Central. And my new show, Family Empires, every Friday, 8 o'clock, 7 Central on. And we will see y'all next Monday. And I want to end with this. It doesn't take a lot to be kind to one another, because life is too short, okay? And one thing I always tell people is, I've said this to my cast, and I've said this publicly to everybody, always ask yourself, is it that deep? Is it that deep? And I think once you ask yourself that question, things could be better. Life is too short. And don't feel like every situation deserves for somebody to be the right person, to be right in the situation or wrong. Sometimes it takes us to have grace and to allow yourself to just have a peaceful, amicable, situation. So love and light to all of you guys, and we will see y'all next Monday. Bye.